and the culture of Ashura. Can we have one salawat, please? The second, the second point that Gary Chapman talks about, and please feel free to buy the book. Inshallah, I hope you will enjoy it when you're taking, a trip in the car or, on holiday. Just read this book, and perhaps maybe you could add in more pointers from what Allah has given us. He says that meaningful gifts, you need to give gifts, This whole sunnah of gift giving on the day of Eid. What do? I look forward to Eid since childhood, because I know that I'm going to get an envelope from my parents, This is how we grew up. Even if they would give me 10 shillings, I'm talking about the Kenyan currency, that we would be given a 10 shilling and we were like, oh my God, we so happy, But today we live in a culture of materialism, that the more you give, the more ungrateful we become as a culture. Nothing really matters. Everything is at our disposal, Please, today look at your dinner tables. See how much do we cook as parents, as mothers, that when we have guests, I remember one of my sons telling me, Mom, do you only cook when there are guests? Because I see you cooking more than 2 dishes. And I'm like, yeah, there are guests coming. He said, Mom, you should be doing this for us more often. I said, Inshallah, I will, because of the time and everything. How busy everybody is, right? Okay. But the point here I'm making is that gift exchange is so important, that Rasulullah ﷺ had made a practice that every time he would come from another city, when he would come back to Medina, he would bring a small hadiyah to Hassan and Hussein. So much so that according to one of the narrations, Rasulullah says that if you cannot find any gift, take a rock or take a stone, a nice pebble or something, but take something and share it with your family. But what do we do as a culture? We only start giving gifts during birthdays and Valentine's Day, right? Yes? No. Not even on Valentine's Day. I remember one lady telling me that my husband went into the yard in the garden and he just plucked one rose and he gave it to me and he said, this is your Valentine. And I said, that is so amazing. Look at it from a beautiful perspective that he made that effort. He went to your yard. He picked up a rose and brought it and gave it to you, isn't it? Sorry? Exactly. That was a beautiful intention that he had, right? But you know what? We have to understand that women's psychology and everything works. There's so much of networking happening here, whereby men are so straight and they think straight and they see what they say. But we are a makeup that is so different to our brothers, our men, and that is the beauty, okay? The third thing he says is quality time. How many of us give quality time to our family members? And that is an act of love. It's how we show our love to our children. How many of us, when our children come to us at home and when they say, Mommy, I have something to share. I want to talk to you about my day, how things evolved in school. This is what transpired. This is what happened. She did this to me. How many of us just brush things away? Instead of active listening, proactive listening, what do? We just respond and we just shoo them away. And children can sense these things, my dear mothers, my dear brothers, my dear fathers. We have to give attention to our children. Not only that, husbands need to give attention to their wives. They really need to give attention to their wives. Give them the quality time. They have to give quality time to their wives. It's so important. Listen to them. Because we have so much of emotion. We've been through so much in a day. And what do? We want to ventilate. Who do we want to ventilate? To our husband. But what do our husbands do? They turn on the TV. They don't even want to hear you. They'll say, okay, hi. That's how they their naked base. But we need to learn these things from the Islamic perspective, that how Rasulullah used to engage with Khadija salamullahi alayha, that after their marriage, it is said in one of the traditions, they were like two lovebirds. Amazing. If you read that story, you'll be amazed. If you read the poems that Imam Husein wrote, the love poem that he wrote to his wife, you'll be absolutely mind-boggled. Islam is so beautiful. Islam is so loving. Islam is all about our relationship of love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But for us who were brought up and taught that you only need to understand Allah, that He will take you to Jahannam. If you don't do this, you will be put into the pits of fire of hell. Unfortunately, this is such a wrong way of delivering Islam. This is what we have terrorized our children, our communities, that you find very few young people attending mosques. Why? They are so afraid to even know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are so afraid because they are always living in a guilt trip. Okay? Number 5 is acts of services. That is also a gesture that we need to really work on. Acts of services. How many of us give that acts of voluntary servicing? You know, like somebody's fallen ill, you want to go help them, maybe cook for them. You know, all these lovely things that you and I can do. How many homeless children, how many homeless people, do you see them in Birmingham city center? There's so many homeless children. There's so many young people sleeping without blankets, without food. Are we there as Muslims, as the lovers of Rasulullah, as the lovers of Imam Husein alayhi salam? Are we really there to do these services of humanity? If you look into the life of Khadija salamullahi alayha, before her marriage to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she used to look after the baby girls who were born. She would take them to her home. She would educate them. She would nurture them. She was a humanitarian and a social activist. We have jewels, my dear brothers and sisters. We have everything in our religion. Islam is a way of living. It's not compartmentalized. That I come to Muharram and become a Muharram Muslim. I come to Ramadan and I become a Ramadan Muslim. I come to Eid and I become an Eidi Muslim. I come to Eid al-Adha becoming an Eid al-Adha Muslim. My dear brothers and sisters, Islam is a way of life taking me from my physical being to my spiritual being. That is why we recite, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. What does that mean, my brothers and sisters? That we are from Allah and to Him we return. But ritually, culturally, we will only receive this message when somebody dies. You'll get this Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. But this vigor needs to be in our tongues, in our hearts, for us to understand that I have a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at every moment of our times. Looking at the 5 love languages, you find that all these beautiful love languages are there in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's relationship with us human beings. How do I feel that hugging from God when I talk to Him? Imagine that you are in that moment whereby you feel that there is nobody to help you. You feel helpless. You feel hopeless. You are in so much of despair. You feel like there is nobody there who will understand you. You speak to Allah. You are in your sajda. You are talking to God. You see that there are tears trickling down. You feel that connection. Don't you feel at that moment God's love hugging you? You do feel. I felt it. I feel it. I'm not talking about a physical hug. I'm talking about that sukoon, qalbun salim, the serenity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that He is looking after us. When you look at the meaningful gifts, when you look at everything Allah has given us, can we have a salawat, please? So Allah says in one of the hadith, are you tired? I can see some faces are really tired. Do you feel that I need to stop here and maybe carry on tomorrow? Are you all okay? Brothers, are you all okay? If you are okay, can we have a loud salawat, please? So when we're talking about meaningful gifts, you find that your life is also a gift from God. Imagine Allah gave you a gift of life. But today's children perhaps will ask, well, I didn't want this life. Why did you give me birth? We hear that. I hear that all the time. You know, if you're in trouble, that's not my fault. You created me. You brought me into this world. Now, heck it, just get on with it, right? We hear that, right? We do hear that. But we need to understand that everything that we have, everything, the smartness, the intelligence, the beauty, everything that we have is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The tongue that we speak, the body that we have, the soul that Allah has given us. How many of us are grateful and keep writing these gratitude journals every single day and saying, I need to write 5 things a day just for being grateful? What are the 5 things that I need to be grateful every single day when I wake up in the morning? And maybe one of you will tell me, oh my God, my life is such a hell. What are you talking about? Gratitude. Nothing is good about my life. A lot of young people will tell us. Why? Because of the secular indoctrination, because of the materialism that we are living in, because of the social media, because of all the different, things that is happening around us, that our children, our communities are so much in hayra or in confusion. Appreciate the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Hadith al-Qudsi, please, for those of you who want to write this, please write it, put it a nice thing in your musalla, keep it. Allah says, Yabna Adam, khalaqtul ashya li ajlik, wa khalaqtuka li ajli. Oh, Bani Adam, oh children of Adam, I have created everything for you. Children, amazing. Allah created the sun for you, the moon for you, the oceans for you, the trees for you, the animals for you, the insects for you, everything, the angels for you. Oh my God, every little thing Allah has created for us. But then what does He say? وَخَلَقْتُكَ لِأَجْلِي. I have created you for me. If only we perceive, if we only pay attention, if we only reflect on the Quran and not make the Quran as a ritual book, it is a book where you and I need to walk and talk the Quran. Allah gives us His quality time when He says that you need to pray your namaz every single day at a certain time. That is my quality time with my Rabb. Inshallah, I'll be talking about Salah and Dua from tomorrow, and why, the philosophy, the essence, the secret of prayers. What is this Salah? What is this Salah? That the Prophet says, As-salatu mi'rajul mu'min. Salah, your prayers is an ascension, a believer's ascension, that you rise. I question myself, do I rise with my akhlaq? Do I rise with my values? Do I rise with my godliness? Do I rise with my principles? These are very important questions that we need to answer. Last, the acts of services that we do for the sake of Allah. when we're looking after our neighbors, when we are looking after our community members, when we are looking after our extended family members, when we are doing silatul raham, meaning that we have that blood ties, we connect with our blood ties. Did you know that today there are so many communities, there are so many problems, family problems that I'm part of in terms of mediation, that there are families, there are brothers not talking to their brothers, their wives not talking to their sister-in-laws. There are so many issues that the Muslim Ummah is going through because of jealousy, because of greed, because of ghiba, of gossiping, backbiting, slandering. These are not godly values that Imam Husein alayhi salam has taught us. And that is the reason why he had to uprise and migrate from Medina towards Karbala. Can we have one salawat? So going back to the tragedy of Karbala, today I want to remember an amazing woman, a woman who was so much in love with Allah. And I want you to pay attention. This is my maqta. This is the Ghamnu Bayan. Inshallah, I'll try and even talk in some summary in Gujarati. But I'm sure all of you will understand that when this child is born, for 3 days, Imam Ali alayhi salam and Bibi Fatima were actually worried, what name do we give to this baby? Because Rasulullah was on a trip. He was not in Medina. After 3 days, when Rasulullah comes back, he goes to the house of Bibi Fatima salamullahi alayha, and they are so excited that they have got a baby girl, like Imam Ali and Fatima has just given to a baby girl. And when Rasulullah looks at this baby, tears fall from his face, from his eyes. He holds on to this baby, he hugs this child, and he calls this baby. This baby's name is Zainab. Allah. Where did this name come from? From the heavens. Angel Jibreel comes down and reveals to Rasulullah and tells Rasulullah that this is the name of this child. What does Zainab mean? Zain al-Ab. Zainab. Anyone here with the name of Zainab? Amazing. It means she's an adornment of her father. She's the beauty of her father. When this baby was born, Bibi Fatima was told that she is going to be going through a lot of captivity. She will be going through a lot of trials. She grew up in the household, beautiful household, that when she was only 5 years old, Imam Ali alayhi salam is testing her and asking her, darling Zainab, I want you to say, who do you love most? Who do you love most? You know, these are the conversations that we have, right? So he is asking her, who do you love most? And she says, I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a 5-year-old intelligent girl. Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali alayhi salam is asking again, do you love me? Do you love me? And this girl, this baby girl, a toddler, an infant, she says, I love you, but I have so much compassion towards you, but my heart is only evolving, only in this heart, this container only has the love of Allah, but I love you for the sake of Allah. This is the smart daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen. She grows up in such a way that she takes the excellence and the eloquence and the oratory and the learnings and the possession of ilm from Imam Ali alayhi salam.
So much so that if you fast forward, you look into her life, into details, which I've given so many workshops on just Sayyidah Zainab's qirdar and her knowledge, you will be amazed at the sermons that she used to give from a very young age. When you fast forward, when she is in Kufa, she used to teach the women. I dars deta tha. Bibi Zainab ilm deta tha. Badi bayo auta tha madrasa ma, like I auta tha badi bayo kufiyo ni bayo bada auta tha. Ane Bibi Zainab salamullahi alaiha I tafsir Quran ni tafsir karta tha, sharh karta tha, akho Quran samjhauta tha, fiqh na ruling sikhata tha, hadith bayan karta tha. अमीरुल मोमिनीन ની એક હદીસો બયાન કરતા હતા કે એક મર્તબા એવું આવ્યું કે ઇમામ અલી અલૈહિસ્સલામ પડદાના પછવાડે હોય છે અને બીબી ઝૈનબ સલામુલ્લાહી અલૈહા ઇલ્મ દે છે અને એ વખતે ઇમામ અલી અલૈહિસ્સલામ જ્યારે પડદા ખોલે છે બીબી ઝૈનબ ને કહે છે આજ બાજુમાં લઈને એને કહે છે કે એ દીકરી મારી ઓ માય beloved Zainab, you are the inheritor of my knowledge. Subhanallah. And she is the sister who goes with Imam Husein to Karbala. And I just want to take you the last moments of Ashura. This is a woman. She loves her children, just like you. She has emotions, but she's here to serve everything and sacrifice everything for Imam Husein and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the day of Ashura, come the time of Fajr, Bibi Zainab salamullahi alayha dresses her children on and on. If I were to just tell you Zainab, your hearts will break. Tears will roll down because the gham is so intense. She dresses them up. She puts the kohl in their eyes. She keeps them ready. She's now ready. She goes and seeks permission to Imam Husein. She goes to the camp of Imam Husein and she tells, oh my beloved brother, oh my darling brother Husein, I have made my children on and Muhammad, they were barely 8. One of them was 10 according to hadith, the other was only 8. They were all ready to go to the Katlaga, to the battlefront. Imam Husein alayhi salam, when he looks at the children, he hugs on and Muhammad so tightly. And he says, these are my nephews. These are the grandchildren of Jafar at-Tayyar. These are the sons of Abdullah ibn Jafar at-Tayyar. How can I allow you, my dear sister, my darling sister? These are only infant children. Bibi Zainab says to Imam Husein, Ya Aba Abdullah, should they not also serve the cause of Husain? Should they not also serve the cause of Islam and Rasulullah? Allahu Akbar. Imam Husain alayhi salam allows Bibi Zainab. She tells Bibi Zainab that my du'as are with you. Please carry on with the mission. On and Muhammad, they are all ready. They go and do Khuda Hafiz to all the women inside. Khuda Hafizi kare che. On and Muhammad. Ek martaba mummy ne joye che. પોતાની માદરે ગિરામીને જોવે છે. Imagine the mother's heart. Imagine the young children. They are only children. Allahu Akbar. Bibi Zainab Khuda Hafiz करे छे. She bids her final farewell. On and Muhammad are now at the battlefront. They want to show the jalal of Haydar-e-Karrar. They attack so valiantly, but they are only children. They have been engulfed by the army. Allahu Akbar. There is a point when On falls down from his horse. He falls down and he looks into the eyes. He looks into the eyes of Muhammad and tells Muhammad, I am so thirsty. I am so thirsty. But at that point the enemies come and pierce the chest and they hurt On so much that he falls on jihad. Muhammad is there so fiercely reciting the poetry of Imam Husein alayhi salam, telling the enemies that nothing can deprive us from shahadat. We are there and living for the sake of Aba Abdullah. Muhammad works so hard. He is so thirsty. They have not drunk a single sip of water, but yet these children are so brave. He gives his life for the pleasure of Allah. In the final moments, Aba Abdullah finds out that these two children have been martyred. They go to the khayma of Sayyidah Zainab. Where do you find this mother? Where is this mother? She is reciting namaz. She is doing sajda. What does she say? Allahumma taqabbal minna hadha al-Qur'an. Accept this humble effort from us. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. Oh Allah, on this night of Sayyidah Zainab Salamullahi alayha, as we remember her tragedies and the tragedies of Awn and Muhammad, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to raise our children on the path of Ahlul Bayt. May our lives be sacrificed for Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam and be sacrificed for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase in our knowledge and understanding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create this fervor and quest for understanding Quran and the Ahlul Bayt teachings. May Allah give us the tawfiq of seeking forgiveness. Oh Allah, we are so sinful, but we turn to you for the sake of Aba Abdullah, for the sake of this Ayyam-e-Aza. Oh Allah, forgive every sin of ours. Oh Allah, we turn to you, merciful. You are the most merciful, Ya Allah. Innaka anta at-tawwabur rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli.
صلوات सकीना की सदा है अरे ओ शाम वालों अरे ओ कूफे वालों सकीना की सदा है अरे ओ शाम वालों कफन बाबा को दे दो अरे ओ शाम वालों अरे ओ कूफे वालों मेरे प्यारे जो अम्मू आज होती कभी ना इस कदर मजबूर होते गदाई करके लाते मगर तुमसे न कहते अरे ओ शाम वालों कफन बाबा को दे दो अरे ओ शाम वालों चचा का सर ये नजे चचा का सर ये नेजे से हटा दो सरे शबीर पर्दा उड़ा दो ये गम कितना बड़ा है मेरी माँ बेरिदा है अरे ओ शाम वालों कफन बाबा को दे दो अरे ओ खातूने जिना का आईना हूँ, रसन बसता असीरो बेरिदा हूँ। मेरी जानिब न देखो, मेरा कुर्ता फटा है, अरे ओ शाम वालों, कफन बाबा को दे दो, अरे ओ शाम वालों। वो सीना मेरा बाबा का कहाँ है, सुना है बरसरे रेगिते तपन है। नहीं हाय वो सीना, कहाँ सोए सकीना, अरे ओ शाम वालों, कफन बाबा को दे दो, अरे ओ शाम वालों। मेरे घर की कनीज़े बारिदा है, कयामत हो गए हम बेरिदा है। सितम कितना बड़ा है, फूफी का सर खुला है, अरे ओ शाम वालों, कफन बाबा को दे दो, अरे ओ शाम वालों। यतीमों को सताना कब रवा है, दुखे दिलों को दुखाना कब रवा है। सितम जो चाहे कर लो, मगर एक काम कर दो, अरे ओ शाम वालों, कफन बाबा को दे दो, अरे ओ शाम वालों। रिहाई तमन्ना मर चुकी है, ये जिंदान मेरी मंजिल आखिरी है, मगर बाबा से कहना अब आना शाम आना, अरे ओ शाम वालों, कफन बाबा को दे दो, अरे ओ शाम वालों, अरे ओ कूफे वालों। सलाम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुबारक वसल्लम।
हिचकियाँ लेते थे अली अकबर, उम्मे लैला ये बैन करती थी, पोशाक उड़ा लूं कि मैं अरमान निकालूं, ऐ मौत ठहर जा मैं जवान लाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं, ऐ मौत ठहर जा परवान चढ़ा लूं, अरमान निकालूं। इस लाल को मैं कैसे करूं तेरे हवाले, ये चांद तो देता है जमाने को उजाले, इस चांद की पोशाक सितारों से सजा लूं, मैं मौत ठहर जा ऐ मौत ठहर जा, मैं जवालाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा। 18 बरस फूलों की तरह जिसे पाला, जाता है मुझे छोड़ के वो हंसलियों वाला। अब तू ही बता कैसे मैं इस दिल को संभालूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, मैं जवालाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा। देखे थे बहुत ख्वाब मगर खाक हुए सब, इस बेटे के सहरे की दुआ करती थी ज़ैनब। दूल्हा न सही मैं उसे दूल्हा सा बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, मैं जवालाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा। हर शाम जैसे लगती है अब शाम गरीबा, जो कहते हैं अकबर की दुल्हन लाऊंगी अम्मा। उस फातिमा सुगरा को मदीने से बुला लो, उस फातिमा सुगरा को मदीने से बुला लो। ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, मैं जमालाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा। पहले जरा दो पहले जरा दूर खड़े रोते हैं सरवर, एक हाथ कलेजे पे है एक हाथ कमर पर। मैं खुद को संभालूं के शहीदी को संभालूं, मैं खुद को संभालूं के शहीदी को संभालूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, मैं जवालाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा। तकदीर किसी माँ को ये मंजर न दिखाए, मैयत पे जवालाल के यूं अश्क बहाए। जी भर के उसे देख लूं और अश्क बहा लूं, जी भर के उसे देख लूं और अश्क बहा लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, मैं जवालाल को दूल्हा तो बना लूं। ऐ मौत ठहर जा, ऐ मौत ठहर जा, परवान चढ़ा लूं, अरमान निकालूं। सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मदिन।
Karbala,
सलाम
Karbala,
से सलाम दे रोस्टिंग सलाम
Karbala, Karbala,
क्या देख लिया वो का देख लिया, बच्चों को तड़पता देख लिया। वो बला कर वो बला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। और कफन मकतल में पड़ा, शब्बीर कलाशा देख लिया। खुर्शीद फलक ने नाज़े पर एक चांद चमकता देख लिया। ऐ कर बोला, ऐ कर बोला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। नन्ही सी सजावट के बैठी, याद करे तुझ पर या ख्वाब में अपने भैया को सुगरा ने तड़पता देख लिया। ऐ कर्ब बला, ऐ कर्ब बला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। रोने की वजह तब रोएगी, हश्र के न दो आँखों ने जंजीर पहन कर कानों पर बीमार को चलता देख लिया। ऐ कर्ब बला, ऐ कर्ब बला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। एक हश्र का आलम था उनमें, ताराए ज़मीं और अर्श हिला। असगर को पिदर के हाथों पर दुनिया ने तड़पता देख लिया। ऐ कर्ब बला, ऐ कर्ब बला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। ऐ शाम गरीबा तू ही बता, किस तरह लुटी औलाद नबी। ज़हरा की कमाई को तूने परदेस में लुटता देख लिया। ऐ कर्ब बला, ऐ कर्ब बला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। बालों से छुपे हों ज़ैनब, अफसोस गिरी है उम्र में। ज़हरा तेरी प्यारी बेटी का बाजार में पर्दा देख लिया। ऐ कर्ब बला, ऐ कर्ब बला, इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देख लिया। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मदिन व बारिक वसल्लम। सलाम पढ़े जो अनिका।
सलवा अल्लाह ऐ शहीदे करबला, तुझ पर है उम्मत का सलाम। ले अकीदत का सलाम, ले अकीदत का सलाम। जान सारी पर तेरी पहुँचे अकीदत का सलाम। ले अकीदत का सलाम, ले अकीदत का सलाम। साए में तलवार के होते रहे सजदे अदा, होते रहे सजदे अदा। खून से तेरी हुई रंगीन अर्दे नैनवा। तूने सिखलाई जहाँ को मर के जीने की अदा। पेश है तेरी शहादत पर शहादत का सलाम। ले अकीदत का सलाम, ले अकीदत का सलाम। प्यास पर तेरी सकीना किसका हर बाजू कटा। किसका हर बाजू कटा। वो हुसैनी फौज का तन्हा लंबरदार था। हाल कब सकाए बैत का उसको मिला। इस जवां मर्दी दिलेरी पर शुजात का सलाम। ले अकीदत का सलाम, ले अकीदत का सलाम। बाप के कमजोर हाथों पर जवाक बर की लाश। हाथों पर जवाक बर की लाश। खून में डूबी हुई हम शक्ल पैगंबर की लाश। भीगी आंखों से करे माँ नजरा दिलबर की लाश। है जवां अकबर तुझे माँ की मोहब्बत का सलाम। ले अकीदत का सलाम, ले अकीदत का सलाम। ऐ शहीदे करबला तुझ पर है उम्मत का सलाम। ले अकीदत का सलाम, ले अकीदत का सलाम। सल्लल्लाहु
मांगते हैं अता मांगते हैं इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। मांगते हैं इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। अता कर तू शाने करीमी का सदका दिला दे इलाही रहीमी का सदका। न मांगेंगे तुझसे तो मांगेंगे किससे तेरे है तुझी से दुआ मांगते हैं। करम मांगते हैं अता मांगते हैं इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। इलाही तुझे वास्ता पंचतन का हो शादाब गुंजा दिलों के चमन का। ये दामन हमारे मुरादों से भर दे करम की नजर से दुआ मांगते हैं। करम मांगते हैं अता मांगते हैं इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। जो मुफलिस हो उनको तो दौलत अता कर। जो बीमार है उनको सेहत अता कर। गरीबों पे तू रहम कर या इलाही। मरीजों की खातिर शिफा मांगते हैं। करम मांगते हैं अता मांगते हैं इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। सदा दूर रखना परेशानियाँ हमको घेरे हुए हैं। परेशानियों से पनाह मांगते हैं। करम मांगते हैं अता मांगते हैं इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। हुआ है न मायूस तेरा सवाली। नहीं तेरे दर से फिरा कोई खाली।
नहीं इल्तिजा एक मेरे ही खातिर, हम सब के लिए ये दुआ मांगते हैं, करम मांगते हैं, अता मांगते हैं। इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं, बहक के पैगंबर, बहक के अलियन, बहक के बतूल और शबीर और शबर, कसम करबला के शहीदों की या रब, हम तुझसे दिली मुँह दुआ मांगते हैं, करम मांगते हैं, अता मांगते हैं। इलाही हम तुझसे दुआ मांगते हैं। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद।